Hi, welcome back to Just Ask Kathleen. This is the first episode of Series 2. We're going to start this series off with a question and answers situation. I have no prior knowledge of these questions. These are genuinely the first time I've heard them. So over to Robyn with the questions.
Why did you become a therapist in the first place?
I decided to become a therapist because I had been working in the NHS as a nurse and I loved my job, but I was feeling like I was getting less and less time to work with the patient, and I really enjoy looking after people and helping people. So I got the opportunity to go down to London to Regent's College to train in solution-focused psychotherapy, Ericksonian work, which was really fascinating to me. Loved it from the minute I started it. And then I followed that on by doing reverse therapy, and that was 15 years ago.
So you've already answered my next question.
Oh, right.
How did you go about it?
I went about doing it by going to Regent's College.
What gave you the idea for this Just Ask Kathleen series, and why are you starting it now?
Okay, so with 15 years experience, I felt like I wanted to give something back, to open up the avenue for people to come in and ask me questions anonymously and have them answered without any huge commitment to therapeutic work, coming every fortnight to see me or speaking to me every 2 weeks. And I just felt like I have enough experience now to answer a broad spectrum of questions, and it just felt like the time was right to offer that facility to people.
Name the two most common questions you get asked as a therapist.
I don't know what to do with my life. I feel stuck. That kind of comes in the same question. People not being able to speak up and express themselves. So they'll say to me, I really hate my job, or I really hate the way my mum speaks to me, or whatever. But I don't know what to say. How do I handle that? So questions related to how to speak honestly about what they feel, because there's a lot of fear associated with that.
What about hobbies? What do you do to kind of help yourself relax during the day?
Okay, so I like to meditate. I was taught TM, Transcendental Meditation, about 2 years ago, so I love doing that. Walking. Love to walk. Love being outside. Outside is just so great to me. And I like being by the sea, so going somewhere coastal, walking on the beach, love that. So that's my real thing about getting outside. It just helps calm me down and bring me back some balance.
What is your favourite thing about being a therapist?
Seeing the progression of somebody from day one to the end of therapy. So I love that. I love it when they come in or we're on the phone or FaceTime, whatever, and they're kind of nervous and they're thinking, oh, who is this woman? How is this going to work? She looks a bit strange or whatever. That's what I'm thinking they're thinking, not what I'm thinking to them. So yeah, there's a real nervousness from clients when they first meet you, and I love that ability to let them see that it's going to be fine, that we're going to work well together. And over 90% of the time that is exactly what happens. People click and we get on really well, and it all works quite nicely. And then you're finishing sessions with somebody and they say, oh, guess what I did last week? And I did this, and this, and I'm feeling so much better. So rewarding. Just great. Love that.
Okay, so you have 3 words. How would you describe yourself?
Optimistic. Sometimes overly so. Affectionate. And someone who absolutely loves their children.
A couple of words.
Oh yeah, that's more than one word. Like, don't ask me to restrict my word into output.
Okay, so how do you fill your cup, so to say, after giving and showing so much care to other people?
I have a reverse therapist who I speak to, another lady. We peer advise each other and give each other support from time to time. That's always good. Also read a lot of kind of inspirational books and things that help me kind of go, oh yeah, that's a good idea. That person's really sussed out. And also Alexander technique. Wherever I am, I like to try and get an Alexander lesson, and it helps me just feel less like I'm with life and stuff that's been happening. Lying on the floor in Alexander technique style is also a nice thing to do just for 10 minutes in the day. Really helpful.
I'd love to know what a therapist can learn from their clients.
Gosh, well, I'm always amazed at the resilience and strength, because clients can come to me I can be the first therapist they've seen, and they can be in their 40s or their 50s. The oldest client I've worked with was 83, and they have lived a life often with a lot of stuff they've held in, never spoken about, never felt they could speak about it, even to their partners or loved ones. And they've carried it all these years. Then they come and sit in a room with me, and they trust me enough to share that and to ask for help with it. And I just think, wow, you have lived this length of time carrying all of that on your own. So their strength is really something that I absolutely admire, and just, I'm in awe of at times.
Okay, so if you could give someone one piece of advice who's watching this today, who's maybe suffering with holding something in, or feeling like they can't speak out, what would you say?
I would say to them, holding in what you're really feeling is only going to bring you more problems. So you need to make a decision and a commitment to yourself to find a way to be emotionally honest and to say what you're really feeling. Because living a life masked in lies and or not lies in the horrible sense, but not being completely honest with people about yourself or what you're feeling, really can bring on physical ailments, and you don't want to live a restricted life. So find a way to be emotionally honest, find a way to speak up and say what you're feeling, even if it's just initially writing it down and then getting comfortable with the words, then go and speak to somebody you really trust and you're close to, and then take it from there, but don't hold it in.
Okay, finally, is there anything else you'd like to add or say around yourself or this series that you'd like the viewers to know?
What would I like the viewers to know? Just want to help people. So I just want people to know they can write in with anything. There's nothing off limits. They can write to me. I'll answer them. If it feels like it's a really in-depth question or a question that requires in-depth answer, I will reply by email, and do it privately if it feels like it might be too uncomfortable for them. I'm just really grateful to have had 15 years working the way I do, and this gives me an opportunity to help people in a different way. So there you go. So that brings to a close the questions and answers section. So next week will be the start of episode 2. Remember, the email address is justask@KathleenKettles.com. All names are changed in order to maintain your anonymity, and I look forward to hearing from you.